Good morning, everyone. My name is John Sarlo, Vice Chairman of the Waterbury Veterans Memorial Committee. Unfortunately, at this point, Sam Beeman can't be with us this morning, but I just spoke with him about 20 minutes ago. He plans on being at our dinner this evening. Many of you know his circumstances, medical circumstances. At this time, I'll call on Bob Dorr. Call to arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Two. Thank you. You may be seated. Quick blessing. Remain seated. Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for this opportunity to gather to honor three of our greatest American generations. We ask you to bless each and every one here present, and thank you for this opportunity to gather once again. Amen. We'll have some quick remarks from Joe Geary, Director of Operations for the City of Waterbury, so we can get rid of some of these politicians around us. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Good morning, everyone. My name is Joe Geary. I'm the Director of Operations for the City of Waterbury. It's my honor and privilege to be here this morning representing our Honorable Mayor Neil O'Leary, who was in Washington, D.C. and will not be returning to the city till mid-afternoon today. It is my privilege to be here and acknowledge not only the three gentlemen who are sitting up in front, but everybody that's going to be honored tonight at the annual Memorial Day Support Our Troops Dinner. I had the privilege yesterday of being at Generali School, the day before John Sarlo and Jack Shea were at Rotella School for a ceremony that I've had the privilege of attending about the last 10 years in a row. They have a Forever Wave Squad comprised of fifth grade boys and girls, and they properly display the flag. They raise it in the morning, bring it down at night, and then when the flag is retired, they give it its proper retirement. I was so impressed. They had a young man, his name escapes me, his first name was Chris, and he recited by memory the Gettysburg Address. I could barely get past the 7 years ago, but the impression that I left with yesterday is that the future is bright. I know, we hear every day that we have to keep reminding people about what these three gentlemen did, and I told the students yesterday that's what they did for us that gives us the ability to assemble, not only yesterday, today, tomorrow, to honor our flag, to respect our flag. So I come away very happy with the impression I left from Generali School yesterday. I want to acknowledge our brave members of the Waterbury Police and Fire Department here this morning, none better anywhere in the United States of America. A round of applause, please. Also want to acknowledge Representative Jeff Berger and from Senator Chris Murphy's office, Ken Kern. Thank you, gentlemen. And I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge Monroe Webster, the mayoral aide in Mayor O'Leary's office. Monroe is very instrumental and plays a huge role in all of these flag raisings. Monroe, thank you. So with that said, gentlemen, thank you for your service to the United States of America. There's no greater service than service to one's country. God bless you and God bless America, and hope you enjoy the rest of the day and tonight's dinner. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. At this time, I'll read my usual opening for this program over the years. World War II began on September 1st, 1939, when Nazi Germany invaded Poland. At that time, only Europe was affected by this unprovoked action. Our involvement in World War II began when Pearl Harbor was attacked on December 7, 1941. Quote, a date that will live in infamy, unquote. The people of Waterbury rose to meet this challenge with the young men who entered the services to fight for their country, and the around-the-clock defense work in our factories by the women who replaced them. For their efforts, they would ultimately be recognized as part of America's greatest generation. Today, we recognize and honor three of America's greatest generations: William Thomas Mayo Sr., Anthony Peter Santucci, Horace Ori Tartaglia. A nice warm round of applause for our guests. We are very fortunate to have the Waterbury Police Contingent and the Waterbury Fire Department Contingent, as are usually referred to, the police, Waterbury's finest, Waterbury's bravest. Thank you, gentlemen. I salute you one and all. Before we begin, we're going to have a program presentation by Vincent Basil, Korean War veteran, who will recite a program that we've heard many times on Saturday morning from Vinnie Banda. Vin Basil.
I hope you can all hear me. I talk loud anyways. But this is in honor of Vinnie Banda. He was a friend of mine. Passed away about 4 years ago, but I never knew he was a poet. And he wrote this here poem about, when I heard it about 4 years ago, during Memorial Day ceremony up at Watertown. And I thought it was very good. It's pertaining to the young generation that don't know what the old generation done. So here I go. I'll read it best I can. I forgot my eyeglasses. They fought in places you would never heard of, when their age was much the same as yours, 17, 18, 19, and plus, in far-off lands, through mud and dust, and to airplanes, tanks, and ships at sea, on land, on beachheads, on the streets, on mountains, in trenches, and jungles, too. They fought for every one of you. There's hope that in your time, your world would be much more refined, and you would be in peace and never know what hell was like at 18 years old. That's it. I cut it short. I made it short. Anyway, I don't want to take too much time.
Okay. Let me borrow that.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Old Timer is
Yeah, that's
the title of what he was reading here. And Vinnie Banda would always read this on the Saturday morning preceding Memorial Day, which was always on a, not always, but it was always a Monday. We always celebrate ours on Sunday here in Waterbury. And also, he would read it again on specifically Veterans Day. So we remember Vinnie Banda as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vinnie.
Thank you.
We will now honor, I will now honor the three separately, verbally. Bill Mayo was born in Waterbury on January 18, 1926, the youngest of four brothers. He graduated from St. Peter and Paul School and spent a year at Leavenworth High School while working odd jobs. Enlisting in the U.S. Navy on January 13, 1944, at the age of 17, he completed boot camp at Sampson Naval Station in New York State. After boot camp training, he was assigned to the aircraft carrier USS Essex and sent to San Francisco. His assignment was to man a 60-millimeter anti-aircraft station. Bill survived many enemy attacks, including numerous kamikaze suicide attacks, some less than 100 feet away from him. He served on the USS Essex until the end of the war. Upon his discharge, Bill worked various jobs and completed his education at Wilby High School. He met his future wife, Shirley McNaught, at the bus stop in front of Martin's Drugstore on Meriden Road. They were married in August 1949. While living at her parents' home, he attended Bentley College in Boston, Massachusetts. Bill and Shirley moved into a small apartment after their first child was born. Bill embarked on a long career in management, working for and retiring from Bristol Hospital as Director of Purchasing in 1988. Bill and Shirley were married for 67 years when she passed away earlier this year. They have two children, Cynthia Mayo and William Mayo Jr., 5 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren. He has devoted his life to his family and to many community organizations. Bill has been involved 49 years with Boy Scout Troop 3 of Mill Plain Union Church. He has served as a Eucharistic minister, a deacon, a president of Chase School PTA, chairman of the Holy Cross Fathers Club, and has served as president of the Sacred Heart High School Booster Club. He is a lifetime member of the Knights of Columbus, Sheridan Council number 24, and is also a member of Waterbury Elks Lodge 265. His awards include American Theater Campaign Medal, Asiatic Pacific Medal with 7 battle stars, Philippines Liberation Medal with 2 battle stars, and the World War II Victory Medal. We are proud to recognize William Thomas Mayo Sr. for his service to his country in World War II. Bill, you want to come up here? I think those are in order. Be my guest, but not too long.
Not too long. How long?
Give me more time.
I want to thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be here. I was the youngest of 4 boys. We were all in the service during the Second World War, and God rest all their souls. and my daughter is sitting right there. My wife, my wife passed away on January 27th of this year. We were married 67 years, 5 months, and 4 weeks. And I don't think I'll ever get over that. But thank you for this.
Thank you, Bill. Our next honoree, and it's like, before I go any further, they will also be honored this evening. This is their, what we refer to as their Waterbury Veterans Merit for the day, notwithstanding the fact that they've got other things to do and whatever, and everybody here is in good shape. These guys are all in favor of you guys, so don't worry about anything. Anthony Peter Santucci was born in Waterbury on June 13, 1925, the sixth of 7 children of Mariano and Maria Santucci. Tony, as he was known, was called to duty in World War II by Franklin D. Roosevelt on August 26, 1943. That means he got drafted. I got the same thing, but I got a different guy that called me. It's called Harry Truman. He began service on September 15, 1943. He underwent basic training at Fort Eustis, Virginia, and Fort Meade, Maryland, before being shipped overseas to Europe in April 1944. He was assigned to Battery C 387th Anti-Aircraft Automatic Weapons Battalion as a second-class gunner in the 5th Armored Victory Division. Tony arrived in Europe on April 17, 1944. He served in Normandy, France, Belgium, Luxembourg, Holland, and Germany. Private First Class Anthony Santucci was honorably discharged on January 11, 1946, and he returned home. On June 15, 1946, Tony married Mary Izzy. After the war, he was employed at Hadley's Furniture Store and then went to work as a carpenter. As a carpenter, he worked for 13 years helping construct Heritage Village in Southbury. He retired as a carpenter. In June 2016, Tony and Mary celebrated their 70th wedding anniversary. They have 2 sons, James and Gary, 2 grandsons, and 1 great-grandson. Tony's hobbies include fishing, golfing, and bowling. He bowled with the Construction League bowling team for many years. He's a member of Oakville VFW 7330, a member of the Holy Name Society of Mount Carmel Church, and a member of the Church of Maggiore Community Club in Oakville. And incidentally, I think it was the day before yesterday, there was a picture of the group of the Church of Maggiore elected officers, and Tony happened to be selected as the Italian Man of the Year for the organization. Nice going, Tony. His awards: Marksman Rifle Badge, Second Class Gunner Badge, 3 overseas bars, European, African, Middle Eastern Theater Campaign Medal with 5 battle stars for activity or action in Normandy, Northern France, Rhineland, Ardennes, and Central Europe. Good Conduct Medal and the World War II Victory Medal. We are proud to recognize Anthony Peter Santucci's service to his country in World War II. Tony?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Excuse me, I get too sentimental. Thank you very much for coming up. Thank you.
Good job, Tom. Our third honoree this morning is Horace Tartaglia, otherwise known as Ori, O-R-R-Y. I misspelled the name O-R-R-E when I sent the invitation to him to be here. Horace Tartaglia was born in Waterbury, May 2nd, 1921, to Pasquale and Donata Tartaglia. He was one of 9 children. 3 of his brothers served in World War II, 1 in Korea. Ori, as he was known, was inducted into the Army on October 3rd, 1942, and reported at Fort Devens, Massachusetts. He underwent 8 weeks basic training at Fort Pickett, Virginia. He then moved to Virginia Beach as part of the East Coast Defense Command, attached to the 111th Combat Team with the rank of Private First Class. In November 1943, Ori began 12 weeks of medic training at Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia. In February 1944, he was deployed to the European Theater of Operations. He spent a month in Africa and as part of the 672nd Medical Collecting Company, U.S. Fifth Army, and was deployed to Naples, Italy. This was the first time Ori experienced the truth of war. As a young soldier, he was exposed to things he never imagined he would see. He went 16 months in Italy, attending to the wounded of the war, as his unit was involved in the Rome-Arno, North Apennines, and Po Valley campaigns. He returned home on September 2nd, 1945, and was honorably discharged on November 16, 1945. In 1954, Ori married Francine Kirk, and they have 2 daughters, Donna and Judith. Ori is very thankful to the Waterbury Veterans Memorial Committee for his recognition and grateful to be among those being honored at the annual Support Our Troops Veterans Memorial Day dinner, which is tonight. His awards include Bronze Star for meritorious service, American Theater Campaign Medal, European African Middle Eastern Theater Campaign Medal with 3 battle stars for Rome, Arno, North Apennines, Po Valley action, 3 overseas bars, Good Conduct Medal, World War II Victory Medal, and the Connecticut Service Medal. We are proud to recognize Horace Ori Tartaglia's service to his country in World War II. Ori.
Thank you. Thank you. What am I going to say?
Whatever you want.
What am I going to say? Thank you so much for this honor, and thank you for the
You're welcome. You're quite welcome.
thank you for the Veterans Committee for giving me this honor. Memorial. God support our troops, and God bless America.
Unlike the Italian at the microphone right now, These are three great Italians who kept it short. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to present to you a representative from Senator Murphy's office, Ken Curran. Ken?
Thank you. Good morning. It's nice to be here on a weekend that gets lost with all the get-togethers and the barbecues and the picnics. Not that I don't partake. I ordered my case of broccoli sausage Rob from La Molisana yesterday. It is nice to be here remembering what Memorial Day is all about, because my greatest memory of Memorial Day is not the barbecues or the get-togethers. It's sitting outside the local grocery store with my dad selling poppies for hours, and we did that every year, and he just instilled upon me the three things that I remember today, and that's to always thank a veteran when you see him or her, to honor those who gave the ultimate sacrifice, and to never forget those who never came back. So now I just bought my poppy at Town Plot IGA from Post 201, and now my 6-year-old daughter asked, what that poppy means, why it's tied to my visor. I explained to her those three things and why we celebrate Memorial Day the way we do, and why I remember those people. And we talk about the privilege of how we live in Waterbury, Connecticut, the place that does those three things better than any place in the entire country. So gentlemen, on behalf of the United States Senate and 3 generations within my household, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Next speaker is Jeff Berger from the 73rd District.
Well, thank you, John, but before I get into some comments for our honorees here today, I think I'm not going to refer to us as politicians, John, but public servants, I think is better. We'll get through that, John.
Another Italian speaking.
Certainly, as Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, on behalf of the entire General Assembly, we send our honors to you and the privilege of being here today to honor you for your service as Waterbury's greatest generation. On behalf of the delegation, we have citations which I will present to you that are from the entire General Assembly and sponsored by the Waterbury delegation. As a notation, many members of the delegation have commitments this morning in committee, both in Appropriations, Finance, and in Commerce, prior to us going into session at 12:30. They send their congratulations and honor to you today. It's important to understand that the Connecticut General Assembly and the Waterbury delegation spearheading legislation through the Veterans Committee is committed to veterans in the city of Waterbury, veterans in the state of Connecticut. The work and commitment of the Veterans Committee is seen in legislation that is completed daily through the committee process and through legislation that's voted on in the House. Just recently, we had several pieces of legislation for Gold Star families, for municipal recognition of tax credit for veterans given to Gold Star families. And also, just yesterday, voted on and sent to the Senate is recognition of the veteran's license and the waiver of the fee for a veteran's license. So many veterans who are not aware of it, and we were of the understanding that many were not aware of it. There is a veteran's license with a flag on it that honors you as a veteran that you can now get, and the fee is waived for you. So when you go to renew your license, if you do not have a veteran's license, then I would recommend that you ask for that, and you will receive that, and you'll be waived the fee. So again, thank you for your service to the city of Waterbury. Thank you for your service to this state and your country. It's a pleasure to be here and honor you today, and we will never forget you in the General Assembly and in the state of Connecticut. Thank you, and I have citations that I'd like to present.
Before I go any further, I want to recognize Patty Mulhall, who's our former registrar of voters. Patty, thank you for being here. And I'd like to also recognize our town clerk, Antoinette Chicky Spinelli. Her father was a recipient of the Purple Heart as a Korean War participant. Thank you, Chicky. I guess I got it just about down to where we have to be.
We have two aldermen here. Two aldermen. Just want to acknowledge two aldermen in the rear of the room, Alderman Victor Lopez and Alderman Brenda Cotto.
I was a member of the Board of Aldermen starting in 1990, so I don't recognize you guys at all. Sorry, with due respect, I salute you. Thank you. It's tough to get old. There was something else I wanted to do. Where's Bob? I want each of you, Jack Shea, and Itch, to come up here after we conclude to help each of these gentlemen up so we can help them. So you come back here. These three gentlemen, Jack Shea to my right, Tony Sarandria, has other names, and Bob Dorr is our secretary. He's the one he and Jack are in charge of the dinner tonight of over 600 people. So I'd just like to see them up here as part of our committee, as indicated by this sign right here. We'll give them a round of applause. All right, having said all that, I want to thank Joe Geary not only for being here today, but being at Generality School yesterday. As he pointed out, that's probably it is one of the oldest schools, because according to my records, it probably was built around 1922, but it has a 2017 flavor of education, as far as I'm concerned. That was one of the 12 schools that participated in the citywide Gettysburg Address. In the Gettysburg Address, people kind of take it for granted. When they hear it, it's very inspiring when they hear it. But not too many people realize that Memorial Day basically started as a result of the Civil War. And the point I want to make about the Civil War is, if we, whoever we is, had not won the Civil War, we wouldn't be here today. We'd be a different country. So that's why I like the opportunity to make the point, notwithstanding all the wars that we've been successful with, if you will, if that's the right word or proper word, if it wasn't for the Civil War and Abraham Lincoln, we wouldn't be here. Having said that, I'm going to close with a prayer. Again, Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for this opportunity to gather to honor three of America's greatest generation. We ask You to protect each and every one of us here assembled as we go forth to do Your work, and we ask You to continue to bless God, bless America. Thank you very much.